welcome to Lionheart Dreamweaving. My name is Matthew, and today I have for you a pick-a-card style tarot reading about what impressions do other people perceive of you. Now, keep in mind that this is going to be from other people's perspective, so it might not entirely reflect the way that you feel about yourself or the way you perceive yourself. But it's meant to be from an outsider's perspective looking at you. Okay, so it's just a kind of fun and interesting topic, I think, to delve into here. So without any further ado, you can choose one of or more, if you feel drawn to, of these 4 piles here. For this one, we have, first one is Sodalite. Yes, there you can see it better. The second one is red Jasper. The third one is Hematite. And the fourth one is Citrine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. The reading, you can find timestamps to select which pile you chose down below in the description box, and I will see you in just a moment. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. This is going to be about what other people's perceptions are of you. And yeah, keep in mind that this is coming from the other external people's perspective. And so it might not necessarily reflect how you perceive yourself or even who you really are, but it's still, I think, quite interesting and fun topic to explore a little bit. So yeah, without any further ado, I will go ahead and flip your cards here and let's see what you have. You have South with Adventure, Oracle card Adventure. Put the Oracle cards up there. You have Firefly, New Vision, which is the Hanged Man card, Politics, which is the Seven of Swords. And then you have Temperance in reverse in the backside. Five of Pentacles in reverse, or well, backside. This is vice versa tarot, so both sides of these cards have imagery on them. And Three of Swords. Okay. Quite a lot of different things going on here. So, first of all, I want to say that with this Firefly energy, like I'm getting this like the sense of that you're inspiring people. Some people perceive you to be very inspiring type of person, but that you also like kind of blip in and off, on and off of their radar, if you know what I mean. Like sometimes you're really like putting yourself out there, and then sometimes you sort of disappear from the public eye. And this can be, to varying degrees, depending on to what degree that you're actually directly engaged working in the public eye. But I think like in this age of social media, all of us are to some degree or another publicly visible in that type of way. And yeah, there's something about like the way that you are living your life, or just your energy, that people find something brilliant or inspiring, an inspiring kind of quality about it. But you're not like it's not something, you're not continuously present, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. um and like with this new vision, so it's like when you do have something to share, then you will like you'll put it out there, um and it gives other people something, um to like fuel, for their own, self-reflection and their own journey, their own progress. But but it's like this type of thing that you're only sense that um, you're only sharing when you really have something, um, that you feel like valuable to put out there, you know. Then okay, so there's also this adventure card, which in general, gives like the impression, it just kind of is what it says, on the card, like that you give an impression of being a bit of a adventurous type of person. Whether then there's many different ways to be adventurous. There could be, externally, right, that you're actually like going and exploring places, traveling places, being out and about quite a lot, or but it's not, there's also the possibility of being like, more, I guess, inwardly adventurous, like that you're a type of person that you go like really to the depth of exploring your own being, and, bringing gems up to the surface to then, show, which would kind of actually go quite well in alignment with this firefly energy here, like that you go kind of sometimes into the dark, you go like deep into like a psychonaut type of thing, like going deep into your own psyche here. There's this astronaut on this card, so that kind of gave me that imagery, like going deep into your own psyche, and then like, working with those like internal processes that the other external people aren't really seeing, and then you come out later on at some point with like a big gem, or like a something like a this brilliant like enlightenment, is, like insight that you gained, going through that process. But anyway, the point being, the adventure, it's sort of like, pioneering new horizons in a type of way, whether that be externally or internally, or perhaps both for some of you. And then, but the other sense, okay, so, I think that it's a little bit, other people, they might feel that they're not, seeing your deeper self, or that they might they might have a perception that you are in some way like, presenting a mask to the world, um, which I think that to be realistic, like everybody has to do this to some degree or another. Like that's kind of, um, that's basically is what the ego is, what the persona is, that we like this social convenience that we, to fit in and function in the society, like that we have to in some way, mask our, some parts of ourselves, and it's also like a protective mechanism. Um, so there are going to be some people who will be turned off by that, and, so those are just not the people who resonate with you, and then you might not actually, you might not actually ever like, come so much into contact with them, because they will be, go the other way, like magnets, like push away from each other. Um, but the people who do resonate with you, they're actually quite curious to try to dig, get to know you better, and go through the layers, to get to know more your true sense of self. And, there's also another meaning with this card. So this can be someone who is also very, clever intellectually, very, either strategic or very good at conversation, very good at debate or argument, even potentially. and that you're like not someone to be reckoned with. Like people don't they don't want to end up on your bad side in that kind of way, because they know that you have a sharp tongue if you need to, if someone really gets on your bad side, that you can you're very insightful in that type of way, so that you could potentially dismantle them in a verbal way. um yeah, okay. And then so these tarot cards here, so with the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles here. So this is like kind of perception of, I almost want to say this is like a, how do I explain this? Like, not gothic, that's not the right word at all, but like someone who has, if you give off the vibe or the perception that you have gone through more than your fair share of heartbreak and suffering, depression, anxiety. Like this is like I'm sensing here like some type of like going through struggles or difficulties with mental health, and sometimes going out in public or interacting with other people, they can sort of feel or sense that on a deeper level, you're not quite all right, or you're not feeling so well, but that you are in a way like putting on the happy face that you need to put on to be able to get by day by day. And some people who are a bit more perceptive and empathic are able to actually sense that about you. And depending how compassionate they are, they may actually want to reach out to help in some type of way. But the thing here is like you have also this like these are like spirit guides, like guardians in a way. This is like guardian energy. So there's in a way also like a type of bubble, a protective bubble around you, which is it just energetically, I guess, dissuades people from they don't get like too close or too invasive, too personal or anything like that. You know what I mean? This is like a kind of sense or like just a vibe that you give off that like you're really strong and you can handle yourself well, and you don't yeah, that like you've kind of, regardless what like difficulties you might be going through, like at some certain periods of life, that you are like very well equipped to handle it, and that you have, and there's this sort of sense that it's an energetic thing, this like bubble of protection around you, which it also keeps out like more malefic type of energies, but at the same time it can like repel people who they might not be so personally connected to you, but they would want to like reach out to you or like connect with you. But then in a way also like there's like something that dissuades them from doing that. But they do like to watch you, like from people like to observe you from afar, whether that be actually like people watching you in real life, or like spying your social media, whatever. You're a very interesting person, I think, for people to watch your journey, because you have a very dynamic type of persona here. So you're going through periodic upgrades, evolutions, changes and developments of yourself, and you're not staying static, or like same type of personality for long periods of time. There are some people that are very fixed like that, and it's like what you see is what you get, and they don't actually grow or change that much over their lifetime. But you seem more like someone who is going through periodic cycles of enlightenment and depth and growth here, and like shedding of layers or healing of past wounds, this kind of thing. And so other people see you as they consider you very interesting, and they consider you also brave and courageous to be able to do this and face these things that you do. And that's kind of what makes it inspiring, because it inspires them to kind of deal with some of the more deep, dark, and difficult issues that they're having in their life. But they might also find it a little bit hard to, people who don't already know you super well might find it hard to figure a way to penetrate the surface or to connect with you in a deeper way. People who might desire to, but they find it a little bit challenging to do that. But you're very interesting, very absolutely fascinating and inspiring for people. So I think that's all the messages I'm seeing here. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have anything to say, and like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more content in the future. And bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading about what kind of perceptions do other people have of you. And I just want to remind you, keep in mind that this is other people's perceptions of you, and so it might not necessarily reflect the way that you feel about yourself or the way that you actually are, but it's subjectively what are other people sensing off of you, which I think is still quite interesting and fun to read about. So intuit about. So here we're going to go ahead and jump straight into your cards now. See what you have. You have fire, ignition. Okay. Dragonfly. And for tarot, you have 9 of Wands. The Lovers. Seven of Wands. Completion. And projections. Oh, okay, that's very interesting. First of all, I want to say that I don't really believe that other people see you clearly with the projections and with the dragonfly. It's like this sense that you can be a bit of a blank canvas, a bit for other people's. They see in you what they want to see in you, basically, which it has plus and minuses to it. Like you can actually use that sometimes to your advantage, kind of tactfully, but also it can be pretty annoying sometimes when people are just projecting onto you some image or some hope or some of their fears or something. And then it can also be kind of frustrating if it's a long, like a repetitive thing, and it feels like many people can't see you for who you really are. That can be quite discouraging, disheartening in a type of way. But it's because there's this energy that, like, this dragonfly energy is so like high vibrational and ethereal, and like flitting from here to there, and that it's just hard to kind of understand what you're really all about, like what is the essence of your spirit. And that's actually that's not any fault of yours, because I'm getting the sense that um, you're pretty authentic about who you are. But it's just something about like your vibration versus the world, the general world here in the general public, that there's a kind of mismatch, and so they're a bit lower vibration, or a lot lower vibration than you, and their level of understanding and perceptions and categorization of people, you just don't really like fit very well into the box. Um, and so it's hard for people to know what to make of you. You seem to be like pretty unique type of person here. I'm getting that same message here with the completion card, is like people trying to like put you into a certain box in their head of like the categories of types of people and personalities that they're familiar with, and you just don't fit so well, so neatly into any of those categories. But the people might still try to do that anyway. And okay, and fire. So yeah, you give this impression like there's like you have a very strong spirit, a very strong creative life force energy, and so different people will perceive that in different ways, and like because there's many people in this world that just don't really have much connection to spirituality and sensitivity to energy, and they don't even have the mental like framework to understand those things, but they still regardless sense it and feel it. They just don't know. They don't understand what they're sensing and feeling. So um for many people, like there's something kind of mysterious and interesting about you. Like they could perceive it perhaps as like you're glowing, or like you just look really alive, or you have like a lot of life in your eyes, or if you are in some way like a creative person that puts out some form of art or music or other type of creative endeavor publicly, like that, um, um, or performance or anything, like it can be like that people like recognize you for that, and view you as like a very passionate, inspired, um, like powerful person. But it doesn't really necessarily have to come through in that way at all, because this is just actually like your raw life force energy, like your spirit, like um yeah. So you could, I'm getting the sense like here too, like of um just like this like very mm, so like it's strong in the sense, because you have here the nine of wands and the seven of wands, and these are both cards of defending yourself really well. So this is like people perceive you as someone who like you won't take shit from people, like really at all. Um, like you're not afraid to speak up for yourself, or to speak up potentially, maybe even if it's not for yourself, but you speak up on behalf of other people as well, or like animals, or who or whatever it is, like disadvantaged, or not disadvantaged. What's the word? Um, when someone has less vulnerable groups, vulnerable. Anyway, I think you understand what I mean. That the underdog, you will also defend those who are weaker than you. You will speak your mind rather boldly when you need to. Mm. And this is just a whole lot of fire energy going on in this reading. And also with this Lovers card, like I'm getting this sense that you attract more than average amount of attention, I guess I would say, in a kind of in a very carnal sexual type of way. Like people, more than average amount of interest of that type is directed towards you. But you might, again, because like I was saying, you kind of don't, you have like strong boundaries here and you don't really like put up with people's shit. So, and there's this person here, they seem also like a bit standoffish, and this one has their back to us. And so it's like, you might not, so there some people who they see you in passing, or they see you at an event or something, or they whatever, wherever they encounter you, they might feel like wow, it's such a beautiful, attractive person, but they don't necessarily approach, because they can also feel a bit of like standoffishness in your energy, or that you wouldn't be so receptive to that kind of thing. Or when people do kind of come to like hit on you, I guess, like that they could feel like easily like shut down, or maybe it's just that the type of people that do approach you are just not the type that you're interested in, so you shut them down. But anyway, that there is this type of like passionate feeling that you inspire in people. Yes, and oh yeah, so that's the other thing. There's a sense of very like wholeness. Like you're very, there's two cards here. This completion, and then this lovers, where the masculine and feminine polarity are joined, and they're come into balance here, actually. Because on this side of the lovers card, it's kind of like the more hot, explosive, passionate side of it, when things are a bit unstable. And this is like the nighttime when things have kind of cooled off, and there's this like vessels of temperance here, and things have come into a bit more balance. So there's a sense here that you are very whole and complete and well balanced within yourself and within your own energy, which also lends to the perception of you being very strong and having very vibrant, powerful life force, very creative force, and also strong boundaries and like knowing yourself well. Yeah, and you don't even necessarily feel ever like you have to explain yourself to other people. You don't feel like obligated to do that in a type of way. So that kind of also lends to the people having a little bit difficulty to understand you on a deeper level here with this, like, because I mean there is of course people there will be people who vibrate in the same, resonate in a similar way with you, and those people will get you, and they'll really really appreciate you, but the larger public here, the greater public here, they might have some trouble with that. And I think that it's still like it's still helpful for them in a way, like you because you challenge their perceptions in a way which for them is maybe a little bit unpleasant. So they might not perceive it or feel so entirely positive about that and towards you because of that. But it's on a larger level, it's very helpful for them in their growth on their journey, whatever like stage that they're at, to have those perceptions challenged, and to encounter someone who's outside of the box of and really boldly embodying their own spirit, like very authentically. So yeah. So from other people's perspective, for better or worse, you are just real, like very yourself, very authentic. For you, it's just yeah. For you, it's entirely better. Like it's really amazing. It's really great that you are able to do this, that you've reached this point, or that you are this type of person. It's an entirely positive thing. But I mean, for better or for worse, in the sense of that, like other people, um, if they clash with who you are, then they might, they're not gonna like it, and and they might not, and you're not someone who you want to end up on the bad side of, yeah, either. So, mm, yeah, it's really interesting. Okay. I think that's all the messages that I'm getting for you here. So, yes, thank you very much for watching. If you are interested to comment, I always love to read the comments. And if you like the video, then please click the like button, because that really helps my channel. And yes, subscribe if you're interested to see more content in the future. And until next time, bye bye. Hello, pile number 3. And welcome to your reading about other people's perceptions of you. Now, just for message, keep in mind that this is meant to be channeling other people's perceptions of you, and so it might not necessarily reflect how you feel about yourself or who you really are, even. But I still think it's interesting and fun to dive into such a topic and try to intuit and channel some messages there. So let's go ahead and flip your cards and see what you have. You have pressure with transformation. You have camel. Okay. Death. Another transformation card. Interesting. The Ace of Cups. The Hermit. Participation, which is the Four of Wands. And ripeness, which is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Interesting. So the first thing I'm noticing is actually all of your cards, pretty much all of these cards here, are darkness, like nighttime kind of scenes. They're all sort of going through the darkness here. So I think that you sort of give off a sense of somebody who is very comfortable with the more difficult aspects of life. You may potentially even have a more of a dark aesthetic in your fashion sense, in your actual like physical appearance, not necessarily, but because this is kind of more of an energy reading here, so this is like more of people's feelings and perception, emotional and energetic perceptions of you. But here there's this these two cards here relating with deep transformation and going through really hard times. Like you're someone who has been kind of shaped like transformation, like pressure. So this is like the diamond, which has been started as like a lump of coal or whatever, and over like through the time and the pressure and the difficulty has been turned into a diamond, right? And also with the camel here, there's like this sense of like the camel is um, an animal that goes on a long, long journey through the desert. Um, like goes through a long journey through harsh conditions, surviving like solely through its inner resources, you know. And here there's the same type of theme here with the hermit. So this is like going on a solo journey here. You having only your inner resources to guide the way. And the camel also has this message of resourcefulness. So you kind of, I think you give off the perception to people of someone who you're very self-sufficient, you're very independent and resourceful. You have that here with the Nine of Pentacles also. That's a very card of independence, and the Hermit, these two. So there's like a strong theme here of being very independent, not needing other people, and being able to get through any kind of difficulty challenge based on your own inner resources, and potentially even to be a strength for others in hard times. And I think there's several or many people through your life who that you've been a light for them when they've been going through hard times. Because there's also this participation card here. So this is like it's not that you're like solely like just a hermit and you only just because you can be emotionally independent doesn't mean that you're like totally isolated from people, because you also like there's also the sense of like having pretty good social skills and like being well able to blend in with the group, blend in with the crowd, and like get along well with people, and like participate in the society and in social activities and family and all of that. But that when it comes to what's going on for your like really deep inner emotional processes, I think that you keep a lot of that to yourself, and other people like sense that about you, that that you are, at least in terms of your deeper emotional self, a pretty private person, which goes along with this death card is like Scorpio energy as well, and that is it's a sign of deep emotional waters, but also like a bit of privacy as well. And you have also this Ace of Cups, and this is kind of the same vibe coming through with this reading, because this side of the Ace of Cups, it's daylight, right? And oh, excuse me, clearing energy there. And everything is out in the open here, though the waters are flowing like I guess publicly. It's like a public fountain here. But here it's like kind of at night. It is at night, and I'm getting the sense here of the being like in the context of all these cards around it, that there's like again also, and the camel is a animal which they carry their water with them inside their body, you know what I mean? So that when they're going through this long journey, this transformation process, that their emotional resources and their emotional processes are deep within here. And you only, I guess, would only be sharing that with your closest, most trusted people. But there's also like with this ripeness, like I'm getting the sense of that other people like really value your contribution, value what you have to share and the wisdom and the fruits of these processes that you've gone through here. So it's like when you do come out of your shell, I guess, come out into the public or participate more in society or in the ways that you do, that your people consider you to be a very valuable, wise person who has something significant to contribute, like a very deep understanding of life and of whatever your fields of expertise are. There's also here, this golden egg on this side of the Hermit card. So this is, I guess it's on both sides. But what is here? There's also these two dogs, which represent Cancer energy, and then this moon. So there's really a lot of water energy here, and being able to navigate through the emotional mysteries of life and to bring the gold out of that, the really valuable alchemical secret here. So this is a type of person who, you're a type of person who, because you're so familiar with this, you can really help other people in their times of deep transition. And actually, now that I'm getting that message with this golden, I get kind of connected that actually you can be potentially good support or a good person to have around when somebody is dying, actually literally dying, that you can really you're not afraid and uncomfortable of that subject, that actually you would know how to support either the dying person or their family, or potentially both, to navigate the kind of deep, complex emotional process and also the spiritual process that comes of transforming your physical form into a non-physical spirit again. But it doesn't necessarily relate only to physical death. This can also be any type of major life transition point, which comes with a lot of difficult, deep emotions and fears and stress, pressure, all of these type of things that you're really, because of the way that you've navigated your own inner experiences, that you're actually quite a very proficient guide for other people to help navigate those things as well. And this is not something that it's a very powerful skill, but it's not something that's always being called upon. But then it's like Scorpio energy kind of represents crises, there's not always a crisis, but then when there is, people really want to have around the person who knows how to handle the crisis, whoever is because that the kind of pressure of the situations cracks a lot of people, and they just don't have the right type of skill set and capacities to handle that. But you're the right type of person for that situation. So it's maybe something that lies passively most of the time, but at certain moments in life it gets called upon, and you are you step up, and you really step up in those moments, and you really help other people, and then that leaves a kind of strong impact on them afterwards. Yeah. Wow. Really powerful here. Okay. So I think that's all of the messages that I'm seeing for you here. Thank you very much for watching. If you have something to comment, I'm always curious and interested to read the comments. And yeah, please like the video if you liked it, because that helps my channel. And yeah, subscribe if you'd like to see more content in the future. And otherwise, bye-bye. See you next time. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading about what other people's perceptions of you are. And just as a reminder that this is other people's perceptions, and so it might not necessarily reflect how you feel about and perceive of yourself, and it might not actually even reflect who you actually are. So it's still, I think, interesting and fun topic to explore and intuit about. So let's go ahead and flip your cards and see what you have. Music with joy. You have the elephant. You have the Knight of Wands. The Eight of Cups. The Tower. Integration, which is the Temperance card. And Thunderbolt, which is the Tower. Again. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. Holy shit. So that's just really intense. Tower card, one Tower card is already it's already a very strong energy. But you have it to have it twice, so there's a really big emphasis on that here. So you are someone who it's like shocking for other people. That's what I want to say. Holy my gosh. And there's not only that, there's lightning in this third card here over here with this Knight of Wands. This is a two-sided deck here, this vice versa tarot, and you have the side that has lightning on it here as well. So I want to say that you're someone who you like really this can be like a soul mission or a karmic mission, dharmic mission of yours, that in some type of way just your energy, just your presence disrupts. Like you're a very disruptive type of person, in the sense that like it shakes loose in other people's energy fields. It shakes loose things that have been stuck and stagnant and a bit rotten and decaying. That's what the Tower card is about. It's like unhealthy foundations, rotten foundations, which crumbling foundations, which need to be destroyed for the health of the person, but it's not exactly a comfortable process. It's not something they would choose to do on their own. So it needs to come through some external force. And the sense I'm getting is that you do this for people in an energetic way, in a way which is sort of subconscious and like automatic. It's just like in a way that just coming into interaction, coming into contact with your energy field already kind of activates this process for some other people, which disrupts the things in their life which need to be disrupted. And you have also here this elephant card. And it's like the elephant is in this deck, it talks about being the remover of obstacles, which is again a very it's a very type of karmic job. Like it helps people to clear their karma, clear the blockages, clear the obstacles in their life. But you probably know that clearing karma can be a bit of a challenging process sometimes. I'll put it that way. It can be uncomfortable to go through the thick of that. I see that you are a type of person who you do that rather gracefully. Because like with these other cards here, like if you look at the faces here in these two, for example, this woman and in this they actually have quite a similar face and facial expression, sort of, not the expression I guess, but quite a similar facial structure going on here. And I'm seeing this type of grace, this beautiful like yeah, I don't think there's a better word for it than that, but a type of like peaceful, balanced, like unaffected by the turbulent chaos of life. Somehow you're able to like navigate everything, like the ups and downs and storms of life, rather skillfully. And I think other people see that about you and are kind of like mesmerized or shocked or just confused. Like, how are you able to do that? How are you able to keep your composure when you're going through such whenever you happen to be going through challenging times or major upheavals or dramatic storms or whatever of life? It's like you're just riding bravely through the storm, carrying right along there. And actually both of these cards here, they're both carrying a flame. This one has a torch and this elephant is just carrying the flame here. So this is like in a way also being like the guiding light for other people. This is like very strong leader energy. And yeah, so like navigating through difficulties and showing by example how to overcome these things. And not only that, like doing it in a very graceful, poised, balanced way, and having fun with it, like joy, like music, like bringing a lighter hearted energy into what for many people would be intensely grim and dramatic and heavy and difficult. And you bring a type of a lightheartedness, like a flow and a grace and a joyfulness to it. And I think in general you have a very happy, positive disposition with this joy card here. But then at the same time, I'm looking at this here and I'm seeing this. There's this Eight of Cups here, and this is like this child here on the Eight of Cups. There's two sides of it. This is the more traditional side, and this side is actually kind of more of like I want to say like a wishful dreamer or wistful dreamer type of energy. And I think that there's something a little bit ethereal, like a type of a glint in your eye or something here, that like that you're here to create a better world or to help the world to break down these things which are toxic and the kind of all the like really kind of difficult structures, the toxic and decayed and rotten structures, social structures and everything, which are currently in existence and are currently being crumbled. and you sort of know in your heart, deep in your soul, like of the better world that's possible. And um, and in a way, it's a bit sad. It feels a bit sad, like that, um, that that we are so there's so far from that, from the more ideal, like the wish upon a star type, the more utopic type of world, which is really like genuinely possible. And I think that you have so much optimism and hope for the world, and people can feel that about you. But then there's like also a dichotomy of it, where there's also a type of sadness and grief for the world as well, and for other people and the struggles that they go through. I would say that people sense that you are quite empathetic person. Mm. But it's very well balanced here. Like this integration with this masculine and feminine, this eagle and swan, and water and fire, and this is like moon and sun, and this is like having a really healthy balance between being compassionate for people, but then also mm, taking a more dynamic and active approach towards healing as well, and like leading the way forward, showing people the way forward, so you don't just get like drowned. You're not the type of person who just drowns in the empathy and the compassion and the suffering of the world. You also are able to, in a healthy way, to compartmentalize that and be like, okay, you'll hold space when it's appropriate to hold space and be empathetic and all of those things. And then when it's the moment to have a more dynamic approach and like, okay, let's move on with this now. Let's do what needs to be done. Um, yeah, and I'm getting the same sense here with this like Knight of Wands, that you will, and the Elephant. They're both energies that like press on. Like, okay, like we've got work to do. Like this world needs reforming in a way. Like the foundations of this world, of the society, um, they're ready to be um, reshaped here, and that involves a crumbling of both the social structures and then also the internal um, belief systems and emotional processes which have created the external structures. So this is like radical transformation, internal and external, and being a strong, empowered leader for this movement. It's a global movement here. Which is ongoing, and you are very actively a part of that. And yeah, and you do it in a very poignant and graceful way. Yeah. This is also, I want to say one more thing. This is like, it reminds me of like the inner child, like the wounded inner child here, and like bringing healing to that. So I think that for other people, you bring that part of them up to the surface, like the wounded inner child, because like I was saying here with the first like thing, that you're just very shocking or very disruptive for other people's energy field, and it kind of brings their issues to the surface for them to be healed. Yeah, but it might activate people's wounds as well, which some people will find, I guess, a bit distasteful, or like not distasteful, that's not the right word, but like too difficult, and they will kind of reject the process, or like reject you. But um, it's anyway still they can't actually, I don't think they can actually like reject the process, because once these things get dug up, then they get dug up, they get disrupted, and then one way or another it has to get resolved. So Yeah, but there could be that other people, certain, not all, that some people will embrace this with you, but there's a certain subset of people who will um, walk the other way from you and avoid your energy specifically because they aren't, they can't, they don't have the strength or what they're missing something that is the courage, I guess, to face and heal their wounds. And you, when they're in your presence, they can't not face those things, so they would rather choose to walk away and avoid you and try their best to bury it and cover it up anymore or more again. But I don't think they can really do that. I don't think it's like a very successful strategy. But anyway, they definitely can't stay in your presence and do that. So yeah, I think that's all of the messages that I'm getting for you here. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you have something to share in the comments, I really enjoy reading them. And yes, please like the video if you liked it, because that helps my channel, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content in the future. And yes, thank you for watching again.